Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rider Time podcast here on the Morphin Network. I'm TimeRider Zero, your host, and today we will be discussing the one, the only Kamen Rider Gotchard, episode 14, Chomping Rex, Dangerous X. Yeah, the cameo of the day is X-Rex. The name's okay, I guess. But just like with the UFO, they kind of like split up the Kemi's name into a bunch of separate things. Name convention's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. It is what it is. I know you're trying to make a name convention work. I know you're trying to insert the name of the Kemi into the title. I just feel like it doesn't really work as effectively as you want it to. I'm just not a fan of, how do I put it, the revised style of naming episodes. I much prefer the W style or the O's style. Heck, I'll even settle for the Kuga style, yeah. But and Gates falls into the W style, just so you know. But I'm not a fan of the whole having a long word having a long phrase followed by another long phrase. Even if there's some kind of gimmick that's supposed to be part of it, like, oh, one of the words somehow relates to the Kemi of the day. Just not a fan of that. No, just not a fan. Heck, I'll even sell for like having a one-word or two-word title that is an anagram of like something that relates to the episode, and the anagram doesn't make any sense. Heck, I'll even say this: Build had better like episode names where like they have the formula thing to indicate the episode number. I mean, the Build episodes, they actually do have actual episode names, but it's presented as a mathematical formula, and I'll at least accept that because it's being creative. I know anime do that a lot too, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the name conventions. So we're at the precipice where we already got our first upgraded form, more or less, but we only have a few episodes left before the season's over, so we know that there's a few more things showing up along the way. Like when you take Kamen Rider 01, Shining Hopper appeared in episode 13, but the main attraction was Assault Hopper, where you combine the Assault Grip with the Shining Hopper progress key. So we know that we got the X UFO and X Rex as these two upgraded forms, and UFO did feel somewhat earned, and this goes into our conversation earlier about Mechanic Crab and Lightning Jungle, but I know that there's a card that features 5 level 10 Kemis. I can't help but feel like we're just building up to having that, whatever that is, as his upgraded form by the end of the arc. Like, we have no reason to see any more, like, in terms of time-wise, there's like no reason for us to see any more level 10 Kemis until January, because like I feel like every level 10 Kami needs to have a proper two-part episode in order to properly build it up and then have it pay off. UFO did that properly because both Kajiki and Sabimaru were both fans of UFOs and UFO-X, but because Sabimaru ended up having to go through a heel turn, we needed the UFO-X for an extended period of time in order to have that earned thing. Because what made UFO-X so good in the previous episode is not just that they're trying to save Sabimaru, who has a passion for UFO-X, but also we had Kajiki help out the main characters, who's also because he's also a fan of UFO-X. And honestly, I feel like we need to start building up a relationship between Sabimaru and Kajiki because of that shared camaraderie, shared passion for UFO-X. And again, I still say Kajiki should be a science themed Kamen Rider that doesn't use alchemy whatsoever. But I feel like the Rex one just. I'm gonna go on a limb and say there's gonna be a berserk moment. Like every season almost always has a berserk, an obligatory berserk form. Uh, we got Hazard for build. We had Cluster Hopper, sorry, Metal Cluster for 01. We had what's it called? I forgot its name. Not extinction. That icy dragon thing. From Saber. I have it. I know I have it right there. The one that combines with Elemental Dragon. That was the one that I compared to Skull Greymon. Yeah, that was the Berserker form for that season. For Revice, we had what's it called? For Revice, we had that rolling thing, rolling jack. For Geats, we had the Mach 9, not the true Mach 9, but like the preliminary Mach 9. But also Bujin was kind of berserk-ish. Not really, actually. Mm, But the point is, we have obligatory berserker forms, and I'm getting the impression that Rex X Rex, or whatever it's called, is going to be the berserker this season because we see him transform at the end of this episode, but we don't not actually what's really interesting is that usually we see a transformation complete itself and then we cut to the end of the episode. We don't even finish the transformation in this episode. So let's get right to it, shall we? There's really not much to cover here. It's pre-Christmas season, and yes, even Hopper One's getting in on it. And they actually make a point of, oh yeah, no, we for the customers we celebrate Christmas a week early. I'm like, this is sounding like some Toei thing that's going on because we need to have an obligatory Christmas episode. Obligatory Christmas episode, yeah. Not much to that scene. We don't even get to learn more about his dad, Hotaro's dad. Like, we learned a little bit about Hotaro's dad in a previous episode, but not much to add up to. But Rine is sent to go find some fern for wreaths with Hotaru. So they're in the forest, and of course she confesses, "Hey, I met Atropos, and I told her to only target alchemists. I wonder if this is because of me that Sabimaru got injured." It's like, no, really, don't even worry about that. Don't even worry about that. Why would you even? Honestly, I'd press hard on that because it's like, first of all, they're the Dark Sisters. The fact that any of them would even keep a promise is, that's something that would be surprising, if nothing else. So On one hand, I get why she's blaming herself, but on the other hand, I feel like there needs to be more built up to that because it just feels so. Because I feel like we see Atropos getting in contact with Rene, but we get very little payoff for that. Like, what's going on there? Is she a fourth sister like Astra from Legends of Tomorrow? Like, is she a time jacker like Tsukuyomi? Like, what's going on there? I know like we expect a bigger payoff, but I feel like punching her like the way they did in the previous two episodes just felt out of place. Just felt like it happened too quickly. Um Meanwhile, Spanner tries to infiltrate the Dark Sisters secret base, and yeah, Lachesis transforms into Dread, and she makes quick work of him. She even calls him a puppy, tells him to stay down, and then she just smashes him through a wall. I'm guessing they're not going to stay in the same base like they did before, since, he's already there. Like, why would we stay in a place where is our secret base? But the fact that she made quick work of him, that is just sad. It's fun to watch. I wish it wasn't so dark, but props to the suit actor or actress for getting her physical mannerisms right inside that dread suit. I could honestly believe that it's Lachesis under that suit and not just some random person inside that suit. Also, I noticed that parts of the armor are a little more glittery compared to when Sabimaru wore it. I wonder if that's a thing. I mean, am I seeing things? Was I just not seeing the glitter in the previous few episodes? But yeah, the suit looks a little bit different from what I recall. But yeah, Spanner got his butt kicked, which means very likely in January he's gonna become a Kamen Rider officially. Like I know it's like I know like the wiki refers to him as a debatable writer, but I like to think of him as Machine Chaser, where it's like in his Machine Chaser form, he's technically not a Kamen Rider, but he was Proto Zero, and he will become Kamen Rider Chase. It's not a question of if, but when. And yeah, I have my doubts he will become a new Kamen Rider by the end of December. I think it's gonna be a January thing because they always introduce the next new writer in January. Heck, you might even see him in the winter film in the end credits or something because they always tease the second writer that way, to some extent. Assuming that we don't see the second writer until later. I'm trying to remember, like, did anything happen in the end credits of Geats versus Revice? I don't quite remember. I know I've seen the movie, but I need to rewatch that because I'm pretty sure something was teased at the end. No, hold on. Gurori was still the game master at the time, so it would have had to have happened before episode 16. So I don't know what's going on anymore. What's going on with these winter films and not taking place exactly where they need to be? But yeah, so our heroes meet a girl who happens to find, oh look, it's that magazine that Kajiki had, and turns out her dad, this girl's looking for her dad, who had some columns done on that magazine, but his theme is dinosaurs. They love dinosaurs. Never forget that they like dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are cool. But it's very clear that her dad was eaten by X-Rex. So while they're looking for him, yep, they find X-Rex. It's giant, it's CGI, and honestly, it looks kind of cute. Looks very adorable. I don't know, maybe it's because of the CGI. Or maybe they just make chemis look cute in general. I mean, look at Hopper 1, for example. But yeah, there he is, X-Rex. And he gobbles down our main character very quickly. So while inside, okay, I'm gonna be honest. Not a fan of this background. It just feels very generic. It feels very generic to me because I've seen them do better. I've seen them do better. Heck, even with Ghost Sager episode 14, when Monet and Hyde were trapped in this white dimension, at least it wasn't just a blank room. There was a way out. And the whole point is them actively trying to escape. But here, it's at least try to make it look like the stomach of a chemi. Try to make it look like a cavern, at least. Something, anything creative. They don't even come up with a clever way out. They just get out using the power of friendship. Jeez. And don't get me wrong, I believe in the power of friendship. It's just the execution's just uninspired. Like, so the dad is like, "Oh, I was a columnist, but then they wanted me to start writing articles that I didn't want to write about, but they were pressing me, so I had to apologize. But my daughter saw me apologizing, so she got mad at me, and that still makes no sense as I'm saying it out loud." Okay, journalistic integrity, like a person should have the right to say, I do not feel comfortable writing an article about this. Please assign this to someone else. I will gladly do 2 or 5 or whatever articles of a different subject matter in its place just to make up for it. But if you are told to write an article on a subject matter you do not feel comfortable writing about, you should not be forced to write about it. I mean, you also should not accept. Also, like just as a contingency, you also shouldn't accept to write the article and then completely botch it up in any way whatsoever that would ruin your journalistic integrity. But the point is, it shows more journalistic integrity by being transparent to your editor and saying, I don't feel comfortable writing about this. I'd rather not write about it, not take commission for it, but I'll make up for it in some other way. Just don't let me write about this. And the reason why I'm really passionate right now about this specific subject matter because I was in that kind of position in the past where I did write articles for a website that shall remain nameless, and I was asked to write about a subject matter I did not feel comfortable writing about, and instead of respecting my wishes, I was pretty much bullied by the editor. That's all I have to say on the matter. I'm not gonna go further into it, but you know, like there needs to be boundaries of like what you can or cannot do. And look, if it was like a class assignment, but if it's a class assignment where like you're being graded on something, okay, like maybe you might need to take an L in certain places, right? Write about a book you never read before, right? Critique a movie you never seen before, discuss a subject matter you're not particularly strong with. You can BS your way through it, but when it comes to like, say for example, something that feels compromising to your to your family history, for example, it's not like you should not be forced to go so far out of your comfort zone that you feel like you're disrespecting your own family. But yeah, no, it's a tough one, and so like I get where the daughter's coming from because she she feels like her dad kind of sold out in some way. But the thing is, it's a really tough position because if you're being paid as a writer, it could mean the difference between putting food on the table versus going hungry for a month. It really it's a real issue with certain situations. And again, it's like a person should not have to be in that kind of position, but here he was. We don't know the full details of their personal background, but I feel like that's my place of where I'm connecting to this character. But anyways, Hotaru tries to connect with X-Rex, and yeah, just power friendship. X-Rex can read the memories of Hotaru, and how like, oh, he made promises to be friends with Camis. Even UFO X is like his friend, and he'd vouch for him, and somehow it works. They escape. Meanwhile, the Dark Sisters try to attack Rene and the girl, and they're like, but you said you promised you would only attack alchemists. And of course, to no surprise there, Clotho says, Atropos made that promise. I didn't. So fair game. I absolutely, absolutely saw that coming. I can't stress enough how much I saw that coming. Because Faustian bargains. Like, we discussed this in Kamen Rider Geats. I want a world where my family wasn't killed by Jamoto. Done. First 2 minutes after it happens, his family dies. Technically, Jamoto did not kill them. Technically, the Jamoto did not kill them, but a different writer did. So, yeah, that's a thing. And you only have yourself to blame. You should have been more specific with your wish. Or more importantly, do not hastily make selfish wishes. I know Rene is a teenager. She's not in her mid to late 20s like Kawa was. So and it was a heat of the moment sort of thing. I get it. I'm just not surprised by it. I'm just not surprised by it. But of course, our hero befriends the Kemi. So we got X-Rex. Yay, I got his name right. It could have went both ways, X-Rex or Rex-X. I'm glad I was calling it X-Rex. And in a 50-50 chance I got the correct one. I'm glad for that. Yeah, so he uses the card, he does the transformation, and yeah, it ends literally on this frame. We don't even see the full transformation. Heck, even the still image that we see in the thumbnail is not even in the actual episode. What's going on? I want to be perfectly clear. When I get the screenshots to make the thumbnails, I have yet to watch the episode. I've yet to watch the episode prior to making the thumbnails because it would take a while to make those thumbnails. And I know how much you guys want to see those thumbnails as soon as possible. So I do it for you guys. But the point being, the screenshots from the official TV Asahi website lied to us because this picture of Rex X does not appear in the episode. It might appear in the next episode, but this is as much as we get of his form. It looks all right from here, but we can't see quite as clearly. So, transformation's okay. It's okay. it's not fantastic. It's okay. We've seen it before when he first transformed into hopper liner. No, steam hopper. Um, Upliner. What his main form? We've seen that kind of transformation. This doesn't feel particularly new. Heck, UFO X felt particularly new, but we don't even see it to completion. Jeez. I like the color scheme. I'm not gonna lie. I like how the translucent red and the opaque yellow like perfectly balances with the chrome teal. It's a nice three color combination. I have no problems with it. To some extent, it does feel like not a palette swap, but a palette rotate of Thundergale from Kamen Rider Revice. And yes, I get it. They're both dinosaurs. Ha 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 ha. It does kind of feel like a palette rotate where instead of being prominently yellow with cyan and magenta decals, he's predominantly red with yellow and cyan decals. Well, not so much cyan decals as much as it's a cyan undersuit. I don't know. I feel like this has not properly grown on me since we don't actually see this form. So I can't really judge as well as I would like to. But so far, I'm just not too impressed. It it does low key remind me of the T-Rex Dopant to some extent. But that's pretty much it. That's all I could say about it. Honestly, I had to give this episode an 8 at best. It's just not a particularly impressive episode. It's not terrible by any extent of the imagination. I mean, it's clearly part one of a two-part episode. It's just I'm just not enjoying it as much. It's just not impressing me. Uh, yeah, I literally have nothing left to say about it. Like, let me know what you guys think. I If we had more build up, more payoff, or at least we get to see the finished transformation of this. Maybe I might give it a higher score, but it is what it is. Yeah, so let's see what you guys think. Feels like a slow episode though, even with the cute giant CGI dinosaur. His mom's trying to ship them. Yeah, okay. Yeah, she's a Yenta. No question about that. Sabimaru got his arm broken after the yeah, we do see a bit of Sabimaru and Renge in the base, but they do very little. All they do is just notify Rine and Hotaro that, hey, just so you know, there's level 10 Kemi somewhere in the forest. You should be there. Is X-Rex trying to be nasty because he's underwater? I don't think so. Oh, but we do get to see the submarine Kemi, carry Rine and that girl across the lake, so that's pretty cool. Happy Hanukkah, by the way. Oh, thank you so much. Happy Hanukkah to you too. Uh, uh, oh, great, another paranormal seeker, but she's finding dinosaurs like her father. Yeah, dinosaurs on the spaceship. Tale as old as who? Uh, Spanner finds their lair, which is that simple to find. Yeah, you'd think so. Yeah, yeah. Kind of makes me wonder. Why don't Power Rangers just raid the base of the bad guys if they know where the base is? Like, very specific example, Jungle Fury. We know where the Rinchi temple is. Why don't you just go there? Or Ryan Mitchell, like, he knows where Queen Banshira's temple is. Why not just tell everyone where it is and then just raid it? Or what's another example? Mm, 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 mm. Let me see. What's another example? Oh, Dino Thunder. We know where the base is. We were there in episode 5. Why don't we just raid it again? Heck, they do raid it again. Just like 20 episodes after the fact. 25 episodes after the fact. Somewhere in the 30s. Yeah. So whose henshin pose is better, Lachesis or Clothos? I'm gonna have to go with Lachesis because I feel like Clothos is just straightforward henshin pose, but I think it's best if I just watch them both over again. But I still am not a fan of the Dread Driver just because you have to slide the card and then insert it. It's like, pick a lane, dude. I'll say it again. Pick a lane, dude. So it can eat people's memories by eating them. So Attack on Titan. So it's the Beast Titan all over again. Ouch. Rewriting can crush your dreams and promise to your daughter. What even is the promise to the daughter? It's like, I get it that you want to write articles about dinosaurs, but sometimes you do need to do a rewrite. It's like, what exactly is the problem with like what the editor is asking? I mean, I said my piece on the situation. Wait, he met Hopper one before as a kid. Yeah, that's a good question. That was very strange too. Let's see. I knew they were gonna end this form change as a cliffhanger. No, but here's the difference, though. In other seasons, in other episodes, they finish the transformation right before the episode ends. Like freaking Geets becomes Mach 9 and the episode ends. Then we see him use Geets 9. Okay? Or what's another example? Revice. He summons Baird Rex. End of episode. Next episode, he actually uses it. Another example. Kawa. He obtains Bujin. He gets a Bujin sword. End of episode. Then we see him actually use it. Or what's another one? Yeah, but you get the point though. We get a form change. End of episode. Then we see them use that form change, and something goes awry. Then we get character development, and then we see the form used properly where they have control. Formula. Here, we don't even see the transformation finish. We don't even finish the transformation sequence. Can you imagine if Sailor Moon did a thing where it's like and then it's like and then before she could do her fishing pose, she like it just says to be continued. And then we continue, and then we start the next episode with and now, you know, it's like midway through transformation. And look, Digimon even showed us like the full transformation. We don't see War Greymon and Metal Garurumon like outside of that cutscene, but at least we see the end of the cutscene where we clearly see what they look like thoroughly, like full body shots. And then they start the next episode by actually showing it again. Man, War Greymon, Metal Garurumon was such an epic scene. Next episode, get ready for our eyes to burn by Kaji's Toofy outfit. I don't know. He might rock it. You never know. We never know. As long as he's having fun and not hurting anyone, that's what's important. Did you see the new occult Kemi card revealed? Yeah. Hold on. One of them is a vampire who looks like an anime villain. I smell Valentine episode is coming. Let's hope there will be. Any comments on the Boom Boom Black being a female? Is there confirmation? Hold on. Boom Boomger. Let's see. Bakuagi Sentai Boom Boomger joining Superhero Time trademark series. No, I'm not seeing anything about. Not seeing anything. Not seeing anything. Nope. I'm not seeing anything about. Hold on. Let me check. Toku Nations. No, I don't see anything about. I'm not seeing anything about the Black Ranger being female. But does it really matter? Does it really matter if the Black Ranger's female? Because we've had a male Pink Ranger. Oh yeah, X-Wizard's going to appear on episode 15, which means the movie takes place between this coming episode and the next one after the Christmas and the New Year's break. Yeah. Boost Mark. No, it's Boost Mark 9. It's not called Boost Mark 3. Hold on. And just to make sure, Geets MK9. Yeah. MK9. Dope. Give me a second. Incomplete. Yeah. Nope, those are scans. Kamen Rider's incomplete forms. Let's see. Birth of the 10th. Let's see. Gills. Decade. Skull. Drive. Ghost. Like, are some of these even considered incomplete forms? Geets. I guess you are right. It's called Mark Rye because it only has 3 tails. Yeah. Why even call it Mark 3? It only appears in just the one episode. Oh well. Well, when you're right, you're right. It is what it is. But yeah, that's it for the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos. We do Kamen Rider. We do Ultraman Blazar on Tuesdays, Kamen Rider Gotchard on Wednesdays, Osama Sentai King Ultra on Thursdays. We're doing the final episode of Power Rangers. That's right. Not just of the season, of the series. Power Rangers Cosmic Fury episode 10 this Saturday, 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern, and on Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, we are doing Kamen Rider Build episodes 11 through the 16th, and the following week we're actually gonna do a movie review. Woohoo! Now, if anyone's wondering what we're going to do in place of Power Rangers when we finally finish it, we're just going to double up on Ultraman Blazar until we get fully caught up. And then what we do from there, I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Let's focus on the Blazar aspect. Let's get the Blazar done. I mean, we could also use that time to double up on Rider Time Archive. Maybe go back to some of the movies that we did not discuss from the Reiwa era. But that aside, that's it for our channel. Check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we do video game news and movie reviews. We just did Doctor Who, the movie from 1996, in honor of the 60th anniversary of the Doctor Who franchise. This Monday at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, we're going to be discussing Doctor Who's 50th anniversary. That's right, 10 years ago. We're doing Day of the Doctor, featuring both Matt Smith and David Tennant, and featuring John Hurt as the guest character. All of that on that channel. And if you want to follow my personal content, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. In January, I'm going to be doing some streaming. I'm actually going to start posting more content, so stay tuned for that. Until next time, stay safe, stay hydrated, update your emergency kits, hug your loved ones. Make sure you don't go insane from all the holiday shopping and those endless loops of Christmas carols, and enjoy the 7th night of Hanukkah tonight. And with all that said, we love you guys, and see you all next time. Bye.